Hello, everyone. This is Jim Okerzinski with your Week 11 Screencast video. Well, I hope everybody had a wonderful spring break. I know the weather did not cooperate for many of us. If you travel, I hope you are able to travel safely. However, I want to begin here, as you can see on the screen, with the annotated bibliography, the instructions, and the uploads. A couple of things I really want to point out here, based upon all the attempts that I assessed over the week, is the word requirements. Here we have all of this up on the screen, as you can see. Okay. Some of the attempts here fell reasonably or quite a bit short of these expectations, along with the categories. More so than that, the quality of the annotated bibliographies and citations were concerning at this point. I often reminded everybody in my comments to check out the church and state annotated bibliography example. I feel that some people did not look at this particular example. Otherwise, I should not have gotten submitted what was submitted. What you see here is a citation and then rather the elaborate three-part annotations, basically described in the how to build an annotation page here in the course unit. So as I talk here and scroll through this, and I've done this before in previous screencast videos, and there is an instructional video there. If your particular annotated bibliography does not look like this, both in the formatting of citations with links, you see here, a link is activated, and the lengthy three-part annotation, then there were some issues with your effort there. So I just want to scroll through that. Everybody does have the opportunity to revise their particular annotated bibliography. Word of caution, some stronger sources might be needed in some instances, certainly on the plethora of the topic of social media and whatever. I made some remarks in my grading the efforts there. I think the Social Dilemma documentary movie was used about 7 times in the class as one of the sources. Kind of really unoriginal here. I asked everybody at the time of proposal, when you're talking about social media, to bring a new perspective to the topic. However, that pretty much was not accomplished with the exception of one particular student. So that said, I believe my dissatisfaction has been accurately conveyed. Now, the whole point behind the annotated bibliography is to move to the research essay. You'll see the criteria here listed for this assignment, when the first draft is due and then when the final draft is due. Okay, you have to use your 6 sources coming from the annotated bibliography, or you can use more. This essay has to be within 2,000 to 2,500 words in order to get a passing grade. So I think it's important that everybody understands that there is a word requirement that you must meet as a student in 1102 class. The IAI requirements demand that work of a certain amount of quantity and quality be achieved in order to pass the class. So I would read this over closely, understand what MLA guidelines are, all right, as far as this is concerned. And I'll have a new example put up there shortly, within a week or so. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to move from the annotated, now that some of you have got sources, and we're going to start learning how to work with some of those sources and being able to synthesize them into a particular research essay. This week's activity is exercise 4.1 in the textbook. It's the dialogue with Dave. I urge you to read it over. I'm asking at this time for you to begin a conversation where you let Dave be like an imaginary reader. You're turning around and asking Dave his opinion about your particular topic. So pretend this is the fictitious Dave and you're answering Dave's questions here. And I really want some engagement on what you say. Okay. You can download here this particular Word document. Let's see if I can get it to open up. Hold on 1 second here. Let's see. All right. Pull it over to the screen. Where are we at here? Where is my... Sorry for the delay. There we go. All righty. Here is the template. You can download it, save it to your downloads, open it up, and you can fill this in and then re-upload this as your document to the assignment, as I say in the instructions here. Okay. So this is this week's activity. I believe it's due on Friday. 2 responses are due on Sunday. So if you have any questions or issues about your particular effort there, here is the schedule. There we go. All right. Post is, Friday, and responses on Sunday. You should be taking a look at the feedback and the information on the annotated bibliography, because some of those certainly you're going to want those revised. And also you want to start looking ahead toward the research essay. So this is what we have. I'm sorry for the lengthy video. However, it is important to view this screencast video and the information here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, send me an email.